Good evening, fellow YouTubers I know technically like. Tonight we're going to be doing a anime review based around the series Ouran High School Host Club. And yeah, it's a pretty long goddamn title. But that's what we're going to be doing. And they, by the way, the company behind it in America is Funimation, the same company behind the Fullmetal Alchemist series and Trinity Blood. Now then, the series spans 26 episodes and it tells the story of Haruhi Fujioka, a student who got admission by passing a scholarship exam and was able to get into prestigious academy. By the way, is referred to in the series as Ouran Academy, not high school, which is kind of interesting. The closest thing to high school that is referred to as Ouran, O-U-R-I-N. Okay. Now, Haruhi is a very interesting person, because you see, she's not a very big fan of the rich people, read the upper class. And one day she happens to stumble into music room number 3, an empty music room that housed 6 individuals. Kyoya, the vice president, Tamaki, the club president, as referred to as the king. Then, of course, you got the twins, Kaoru and Hikaru. You got Mori Senpai and Honey Senpai. You got about 6 or 7 people. Now, when Haruhi ended up in the room, all seemed pretty normal. Till, Tamaki, who was as dense as a brick, made advances towards the individual, and, well, let's just say that's when stuff really started going wrong. Because Haruhi just wanted to get back out of the room. Haruhi just wanted to find a quiet place to study. And what ended up happening was Haruhi ended up a vase ended up getting broke. That was worth 8 million yen. Those one was about $103,000 in US funds. Now here's where it gets fun. At first, Haruhi is declared to the host dog able to run errands. Every odd job imaginable. The thing about it is any attempts to escape will be thwarted by the police department. At least that's the way it's mentioned in the anime. Well, Haruhi decides, you know what? Alright, I'll just suffer through it. Ends up having to get the groceries for the club and get some instant coffee, which turns out to be a really big hit in the host club, surprisingly. The next idea, however, in Tamaki's interesting little mind, would be to make over Haruhi as a host, figuring that if Haruhi could get 100 guests to request the services of this individual, then the debt would be paid off and he'd forget all about it. After a incident that occurs within the same episode, I think, though, it becomes 1,000 people. Yeah, not fun, right? Now, here's where it gets really funny, though, because one of the customers doesn't like Haruhi at all. And in turns, end up taking the bag school bag that Hatori had and threw it in the drink. In the fountain, which, by the way, looked a little suggestive. In case you're wondering, it was a statue of a person, like a baby boy, and the water was coming out of... I'll stop there. When he goes to get it, Tamaki comes out and helps her. Well, yeah, helps her. Now, what do I say, her? More on that in a minute. After an incident that occurs in episode 1, where Hatori and one of the guests gets doused with water, she has to go change. Well, it's found out, it's discovered by the host club then that Hatori is more like Hatori. The really neat thing is, though, during the course of the entire episode, light bulbs start going off one by one. When they all go off, everybody realizes, oh, wait a minute, we just had a woman in the club, but she's a commoner. The interesting thing, though, is all this is discovered differently in the live-action series, which runs 11 episodes. Yeah, only 11. And this was 26, so it's less than half. But don't worry, because Sailor Moon ran, the Pre-Guardian Sailor Moon series ran 200 episodes animation and about 51 total with the book-ended episodes and the actual series, so yeah. Back to the Ouran. One interesting thing that I found through this entire series is Hatori is so steadfast in the fact that she claims that she hates the rich people. She hates them, she hates them, she hates them. She wouldn't want anything to do with them. Unfortunately, because she had to become a host, and by the way, also keep it on wraps that she is a girl. Excuse me, damn. It just becomes one big misadventure. The really neat thing, though, is there in 2 specific episodes, an all-girls school comes to try and take Hatori away and enroll her there. Well, for one thing, they would have enough money, as is announced by Julia in the first appearance, which is episode, I want to say 9. Somebody will probably correct me in the comments. That, you know, they would have enough money to pay off the debt. And actually, hold on 1 second. Yep, here's episode 9. Sorry about that, I had to go double check for you right quick. The interesting thing about this series, though, is they do a few things. One is they sort of poke fun at, like, otaku culture, like shoujo mangas and certain yaoi sections, like the Lobelia School, the twincest yaoi thing with the twins Hikaru and Karu. And yeah, that was a little weird. I have to watch that. One other thing they were not bashful about showing was in one episode they showed Hatori's house for the first time. When they showed that, and the the host club wanted to go visit her. So when they're going to visit her, everything, you know, gets turned upside down, and it also gets made look to be maybe more interesting when they meet Hatori's father. Okay, back up. See, it's basically made clear in the series that Hatori's mother died from an illness when she was little, so her father's had to raise her all her life. Well, her father works at a grocery store, but apparently he also has another side job. He's a transvestite. And no, I'm not joking. By the way, that is announced in episode 2 of the live-action drama. It's not announced at all in this year in the animated version. No. But believe it or not, Mr. Can't believe I said that. Fujioka actually becomes a recurring character. Once after he's introduced in this particular episode, Day in the Life of the Fujioka residence, you see him in the excuse me, in the Hattori in Wonderland episode, as well as the deceased mother, and you also excuse me, see him in the second episode that Lobelia appears in after they abducted her. What's interesting though is I think they got a little lazy once they got into the second half of the series, because when they went through the scenario on how Hattori goes into Lobelia, it's the same as the episode when she gets abducted to go to the theme park that Kuria's family owns and operates. So I kind of looked at that and was like, you know, they got a little lazy here. Although I did think it was kind of cool to actually make the father a recurring character. I was thinking, if you're going to do that though, why not introduce him earlier in the series and, you know, actually use him more? Okay, they use him for 3 episodes, so how's he recurring? Because I just thought it was kind of cool the way they use him. The first time that you see and you're like, so wait a minute. Now, let me back up, because when I watched like the first 3 episodes of the live action drama, Hattori makes it known, plain as day, her father's transvestite. So you're sitting there going, okay, wait a minute, that was something they came up with for live action. No. Plain as day. And it's like, you look at him and his hair's got awful long, and it's, by the way, it's red, which is really interesting. So your father's a redheaded transvestite. Alright. Oh dear, that's... whew. But all in all, what ends up also becoming clear is, through 26 episodes, that Tamaki starts really developing feelings for Hattori, and he gets really jealous when the twins are consistently around her and fawning all over her. No joke. For whatever reason, he gets so bent out of shape if the twins are around her. Of course, he also doesn't like the fact that Kyoya has to remind him in one particular episode about how, you know, Tamaki spends this much time with him. Meanwhile, the twins are spending so much time that, you know, that could have been a very interesting and disturbing at the same time 3-way relationship. Now, I'm going to say this. When you recycle certain scenes for a series to make them, and just change out certain characters, it shows how lazy you are sometimes. Okay, how does it look any different if you're going to do the abduction episode, the abductions thing with Lobelia, and after you already did it once with the whole theme park episode? What's really interesting also is, okay, there was no way that the secret of Hattori-chan was going to get spilled in a theme park, but for some reason, and the twins call him one, by the way, Tamaki gets really bent out of whack when he sees the swimsuit that the twins picked out for, that she gets picked out and dressed up in. So he hands her a yellow, ugly yellow jumpsuit, which made me go, really? Okay. Now then, I am going to say this, because because this series has a bunch of overtones that look a little out of whack. The whole twincest thing, the and which also leads to the quote yaoi tendency, the overtone. The Labilia's yuri tendency or sojo ai tendency. You're sitting there going, wait a minute. What's even worse is when Haruhi is made to actually act in a play. She couldn't act for shit, but she could sing apparently. Well, apparently Caitlin Glass, the person who does the voice acting for Haruhi, does a very good job with it. Oh, and by the way, for those of you wondering, I'll go ahead and tell you this now. The person who plays Tamaki in this series also was famous for playing, is also known for playing Edward Elric in Fullmetal Alchemist. Now, here's going to be the big question. And this is what I know you're probably going to wonder. Do I recommend this series, 21 in particular? I'm going to recommend this series as long as you can keep an open mind with some of the overtones. And if you can make it past the day in the life of the Fujioka residence with the whole transvestite thing going on, then congratulations, because you'll make it through the rest of this series, no problem. That is the episode. I am not going to lie to you. The hair on the back of my neck was literally standing up for me because I was sitting there going, okay. I mean, it wasn't nothing to hear say it in the live action, which, by the way, I've seen all 3 episodes. 2 of the episodes actually were switched as far as order goes. The episodes in question are the dance episode, which was episode 2 in the anime version. It becomes episode 3. Episode 3 becomes episode 2. Episode 3 is the one about the physical exam. And the really interesting thing is, if somebody says to me, so which do you actually, prefer as far as the way they tell the story? I haven't seen the entire live action series yet, which is all of 11 episodes, so I'm going to hold judgment on that. But I will say this, from what I've seen, I like it. I like it a lot. I just wish Funimation, since Funimation basically owns the rights to this franchise, you wonder how soon it's going to be before they actually say, you know what, we're going to bring the live action version here. They're just going to have to subtitle it. No problem. And I won't be opposed to it. I'll gladly buy it and watch that and do a review on that one too. Your theme song is called Sakura Kiss, by the way, in the series, which I actually like. Although I have to tell you, the song they use for the live action version, which is not Friday excuse me. Don't speak, it's not Friday Mama Magic by me. No. It's a song that I don't know the name of yet, and I haven't been able to find out the answer to. But I will say this, if you are looking for an anime to watch and one that sort of kind of puts fun at, the otaku culture, and you're can keep an open mind about some of the overtones in the series, I'm going to strongly recommend this series, primarily because it is that damn good, I think. Excuse me. And I will promise you this, the Ouran Host Club will be waiting for you when you decide to go visit them. and I suggest, and they'll be welcoming you with open arms. I suggest you treat them nicely, because Tamaki, especially Tamaki and Haruri, because I think they're the host club couple. But yeah, I'd say go out and buy it. If somebody says to me, are you 1 to 10, 9, 9.5, I'm only going to knock off about half a point because of the fact that they had to reuse basically reusing the scenario twice because they couldn't be bothered to think of something else to do with it. And the whole thing with the monkey and the banana peel doesn't appeal to me either, pun intended. But yeah, go check out the series. Until next time, my friends, I'll talk to you all later. Sayonara.